Hey guys, this is Zach, Team Covenant, and we are here to unbox the other half, the light side of the Edge of Darkness Deluxe expansion that came out for the Star Wars LCG, and I'm going to kick it off with the very first objective set, which is Wookiee Life Debt, a standard 5/1. It's a cash objective. Each Wookiee you control gains Protect character.
Great.
That's great if we have Wookiees.
I'm only assuming.
Alright, first up, and no surprise here, is a 3-cost unique Chewbacca, 1 Force icon, 2 black unit damage, 2 white objective damage. Character, Wookiee, also a smuggler. Reaction, after this unit is dealt damage during an engagement, it deals twice that much damage to a target participating unit, 3 health.
Love it.
For 3?
It's real
That's
cheap.
unbelievable.
It's real cheap.
I would expect that for 4 or 5.
Yeah.
That's
Just
crazy.
In and of itself is pretty great, but then you can imagine he has Protect. You know, you get to attack or block, they do damage to something, he takes 1 of it, does 2 back, doesn't even have to be participating.
That's just
Phenomenal.
nuts.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
It's really good.
It's a big deal. All right, next up.
Are you kidding?
We'll look at the objective as a whole. But next up, we have we get 2 Wookie Warriors, more Wookiees. 2 cost, 1 Force icon, a black unit damage. This unit gains black unit and objective damage while it is damaged. 3 health.
So good.
He's going crazy.
Yep. Give him Protect with that objective.
3 health for a 2-cost character that potentially has Protect.
And if nothing else, he's got the black unit
There's
damage.
some stout Wookiees.
He's a Wookiee.
Well, and it's the kind of thing, too, where unless they have a tactics, if they strike first and do a couple damage, your guy gets angry and then just rips their head off. So,
Seems thematic.
seems good.
Let the Wookiee
Seems
win.
thematic.
Speaking of getting angry, Let the Wookiee Win is a 0 win. Let the Wookiee Win is a 0 cost event. Action: deal 1 damage to a target friendly unit. Then deal 1 damage to a target non-vehicle unit.
Nice.
This combos very well with Chewbacca.
I see some synergy here.
So if you're attacking or blocking, they do a damage. You protect it on Chewbacca. You get to double it up.
Just
You
throwing
can also
damage
do
out
another
now.
damage, double it up.
Yep.
So essentially,
Start
you
dishing
can
it.
use this card to do 3 damage to a participating enemy non-vehicle unit.
Yeesh.
It's like, wait, reread card.
Because you do 1 damage to Chewbacca, which does 2 to them, and then Let the Wookiee Win does 1.
Is Chewbacca every
But-
time he's damaged or
Yeah,
every
it says-
time you're like a unit, an enemy unit?
It says
damages
after this
Chewbacca?
unit is dealt damage during an engagement. So you
Okay.
play Let the Wookiee Win on
Wow.
during engagement,
Works.
and you're doing 2.
Yep.
Nice.
And then you're doing 1 because of Let the Wookiee Win.
Wow.
And then Let the Wookiee Win
Nice.
is 1. So this is a...
That's insane. I cannot believe he cost 3. That is just nuts.
Chewbacca with Let the Wookiee Win is intense. But the enemy unit has to be participating.
Yeah.
You
And
can't just like off Palpatine who's committed over there doing nothing.
you've even got the you've got just the Wookiee Warriors that works with really well too.
Absolutely. It's interesting because if I see Chewbacca on the table and you attack, and normally it's like, oh, I'm going to block with the Emperor and tactics stuff down. Not as safe anymore.
Yeah.
Like nowhere near as safe, actually, unless you protect yourself. But
It's terrifying.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
participate with the Emperor, even if just Chewbacca being on the board,
It's terrifying.
That would
Is
be an interesting confrontation, just
Yeah.
in general.
Chewie versus the
Chewbacca.
Emperor.
Chewie versus the Emperor.
He'd have to be really angry.
Let's get that on
to
camera.
win that one.
I'm just
Also worth
picturing the
noting
lightning in the
Yeah.
air.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah,
It's worth
He
noting
would
that the Wookiee
probably
Life Debt is
ignite.
not in the engagement. It can be anyone, the damage you're doing.
The secondary
Visual
damage
loss.
off that
Yeah.
card, yeah.
And then we round off that objective set with Heat of Battle.
Solid.
Seems good.
Is that dealing damage to an enemy or just a participating
Target
unit?
participating enemy unit.
Okay.
You can't Heat of
All
Battle.
right,
Yeah,
man, I
that'd
was
be
about to heat a battle
fantastic.
Chewie, dude. Would have been great.
So
Start stacking it
I
up.
think that objective set to start off the box is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's great.
That's Chewbacca at that cost is pretty unreal to me. Much needed objective damage and smugglers. I mean,
Everything else is real cheap too. The whole thing.
it's just
The whole objective set is good.
that's
Yeah.
nuts. But I mean, we did see the other side of that with Scum having answers to Wookiees
Mm-hmm.
and pretty good ones too. So I feel like this is one of those things where it's Wookiee heavy at first, and then the answer is the Scum stuff that's anti-Wookiee, and then it evens out where you might see some, and then people are gonna run them out of the meta. So I think there's already answers to that kind of stuff.
I think it's the sort of thing that if people are bold enough to use it, then people are going to they're going to start playing around it a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you start playing around it and then they stop using Wookiees, you're playing some weird stuff.
Yeah, it's a good little meta spiral for sure.
Yeah, very
That's-
cool.
that's a
so
good
overall,
objective
that's
set.
an excellent objective. I think it will see play quite a bit, let alone the fact that Chewbacca's in it. It could have been not that great. It probably
Yeah.
still would have seen play. And he he just pairs well with a lot of the smuggler stuff. So let's hit the next one.
All right, up next we have Raise the Stakes. It's a standard 5-1 Cloud City. While this objective is undamaged, your unopposed bonus is raised to 2.
Nice.
Why not?
Not cool,
Yeah.
man. Not cool.
Why not?
It's good.
I mean, the Imperials have it. Why not? Everyone else.
Now there's an easier way to get unopposed.
Speaking of that, up next we have Blockade Runner. He's a 4-cost vehicle capital ship. He has 2 force icons. He has a unit damage and 2 blast damage. They're both black, or all 3 are black. 3 health. While this unit is attacking alone, enemy units with Precognition 3 or higher cannot be declared as defenders.
It's awesome.
That is really good, especially considering that this is the same crew that runs cards like Swindled.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm going to attack the objective. My unopposed bonus is higher. You can't block with big things, or you can't block with Palpatine. And then it's like, you can't force choke it either because it's a vehicle. This weird situation happens.
I mean, if nothing else, it's 2 black objective damage.
Yeah.
No matter
With 3
what,
health.
past that, that's going to be significant every time.
Yeah.
But you have so many options with that guy. He's great.
He's super solid.
He's great.
What else do we got?
Up next we have the Cloud City Operative. It's a 2-cost, 1 force icon character rogue. It has a black unit damage and a white tactics, 2 health.
Nice.
It has reaction. After this unit enters play, move 1 focus token from a target unit to another target unit with printed cost 2 or lower.
Man, it is
Pretty
just,
good.
they're lighting this one up, man.
Mhm.
That I've had my face wrecked by that card at this point.
It's so good.
Oh, man.
A lot.
Anytime you can manipulate focus tokens, you're in a good place.
It's
I mean,
always a
this
good
is-
place.
This is obviously it's not an enhancement, but it's trust your feelings on crack because
Yeah.
you get to go again with whatever you want, but then you also are going to lock down something they have. So you move the focus to one of the resource guys, or a tactics guy, a Jawa that they have waiting to block. They can't block anymore, and they can't block with their big stuff.
That's awesome.
So you just keep pinging them for damage.
Up next we have the Bothan Spy. It's a 1-cost, 1 force icon character spy Bothan. 1 black unit damage. It's 1 health. A reaction: after this unit enters play, look at your opponent's hand.
Chud. And good.
There are those turns where there's going to be one edge battle that's a really, really big deal.
Mhm.
How many force icons do you have?
And knowing exactly what they're sitting on, there's nothing worse than attacking, dropping 2 cards, and the one they have is a twist, or them pulling you into something like that. So knowing what they've got is a big deal.
I mean, you're paying 1 for black unit damage, and then when do you ever not want to know what's in your opponent's hand?
Only when they don't have it.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, pretty
It's
much.
always a
That's
good
the only
idea.
the only time.
And that rarely happens.
Up next we have Smuggling Compartment. It's a 1-cost upgrade. It's an enhancement, 2 force icons. You enhance a vehicle unit you control, and has a reaction. After the enhanced unit is declared as your only attacker, draw a card.
Nice.
Seems nice
Chris-
for a blockade runner.
Mhm.
Pairs well with the objective set too, where unopposed, or it's good.
The blockade runner.
Good continuity. Yeah.
All about the blockade runner. I don't know. Is there more to do with that though?
Well, the objective itself, right? How does it read? Isn't it when they're attacking them alone, you're on
I think it's anytime it's
While
unopposed.
this is while this is undamaged, it's raised to 2.
Your
unopposed
bonus.
with you.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to do with the single.
Yep.
But I mean, the only real synergy there so far is the blockade runner, right? I mean, you'll see some vehicles. What kind of vehicles? Maybe the rebels will want to use that.
Possible.
Home one, but
I
they
mean,
tend to
you
kind of
have all-
swarm
you have all
in.
the speeders as well.
Yeah.
You could do like a Rogue 3.
Yeah.
Enhance it. It gets the extra blast and unit damage.
It also pairs
Nice.
really well with the Sleuth Scout, who we'll get to.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the final card in this pack is Swindled.
More swindled. I love that objective set. Man, these
It's a good
first 2 have been insanely good. That's awesome.
Can it get better?
Probably. Trust me, it can't.
Trust me. Seems fishy.
Yeah, so we're going to Trust Me. This is a 5-2, which is always a big deal. Smugglers and Spies only, so pay attention. And Interrupt. When an event card is played, deal 2 damage to this objective to cancel that event card's effects.
So good.
So good. So
Especially
good.
with all of those cards that we saw
So
in the
good.
last video.
I just want to throw something. I saw this card and immediately was like, if all 5 cards in the objective set were blank, literally blank, I would probably still build a deck around this card.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't think you would.
I think I would, man. Dude, I'm telling you.
You would at least consider
There's
it.
a lot
Just-
of crazy
just
cancels
kill
these
this.
days.
Until this moment that you say that, it's not that easy.
You need them.
until this objective, Sith Control has just ran the game.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I can tell, Sith Control of some sort has ran the game. And Force Lightnings, Force Chokes, Disturbance in the Force, all those things just, it's like, oh, you want to pay 3 for a Force Lightning?
And now Force Shockwave.
Especially when perhaps the biggest card on the flip side of this deluxe was captured.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you have home 1 out, I'm going to capture it. It's like, no, you're not. And what's worse is now you're just not going to play the card because you see it until you can get to it. And if you run thing, it's harder to get to than you think.
The last thing you want in Star Wars is a clogged hand, too. It's like, I want to play these events, but they'll just get canceled.
Yeah, and that's where, to me, this is a great answer to Sith Control because you say just get rid of the objective. That's the Sith's weakest point, is just being able to get rid of an objective. They lack a lot of objective damage, so it is a tough cookie to crack.
Yeah.
Man, this card's good.
Yeah.
Now, that said, I would pay like 0 or 1 most of the time to get 2 damage on an objective. Just
Sure.
straight up. So, on the end of the spectrum, it's like, I'm going to Force Choke. Do you really want to lose 2 objective damage to cancel it? It's like,
It depends on how you're choking.
yeah, it certainly does.
And that's
like,
what, I mean, you find with the
Not
Sith,
true.
there's so many times where the Force Choke with the reaction from Vader is enough. It's not just like, oh, I killed something. It's timed in a
swing,
manner
yeah.
that like swings the entire game.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought you were going to blow the objective up with the Y-Wing, and I'm actually killing it with Force Choke and your Tactics icon. So now that I'm blocking and just wrecking your face.
Can't force choke a lot.
And, I mean,
Well, Vader's reaction.
correct me if I'm wrong, but Vader still gets his reaction here.
Yeah.
He would
on
still get
playing
his
the game.
reaction. Yeah.
So, you know, good little answer. Yeah, I'm not,
Now,
I'm
let's
not
assume the
crazy
cards
about it
aren't
like you
blank.
guys are. Lando Calrissian, 4 cost, 2 Force icons. He has a black objective and tactics, which is a big deal. Character, rogue, and scoundrel. He is elite. Always good to see. And he has an action, spend a resource to remove a target participating unit from an engagement once per turn. He also has 2 health.
OP.
He is so good.
Yeah, this is nuts.
Now the objective set. The rest of the cards really could be blank.
And the thing is, like, we're just seeing so many reasons for smugglers to hold on to 1 resource.
Mhm.
And you
Which
just
is
don't know.
troublesome, man.
Am I going to remove the thing? Am I going to swindle you? Like, what's going to happen?
Or my dead body.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and this ability, it's crazy, man. It is
It
just
wrecks
crazy.
everything.
And one of the most interesting things I've seen with it thus far that I didn't even really think about, and someone did it to me, and it made me kind of laugh. They attack with Lando, and I'm really wanting to kill Lando. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to let you just push one of my dudes out and not be able to kill him. So I put 2 stormtroopers in. And then it's like,
You
all
remove
right,
himself?
it's like edge battle, play edge cards, and then they only played 1 or they whatever, and a couple cards, but I played more because I really wanted to kill Lando. And then I win, and then I'm like, all right, who are you pushing out? And he pays 1 and pushes Lando out, and I'm just like, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of really good ways. I mean, you can attack with Han, trigger his reaction, and then they
Problem
block. They kind of have to block because he has targeted strike and a tactics icon. If they block, you pull them out. You get attack again and do another damage. There's good things here.
He runs
here.
the table. So what's the answer? What's the dark side answer to this guy? Capture him?
The trouble with it is that he comes in an objective that cancels most of the answers. A decent one is the bounty, especially if you can put it on him with Jabba.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
Maybe like a targeted strike. He's only 2 health. So you like attack and then he removes you and then you attack again. Targeted strike him. I can see that.
there are definitely ways. But
Well, Vader's lightsaber on him.
if I'm running this guy, I'm doing 1 of 2 things. I'm either running the Wookiees or I'm running the Jedi, the Secret Yavin 4 for Protect.
Mhm.
And you just can't. It's once he gets out, if he can stay on the board, he wrecks.
All right, well, let's see what else we got. We got a Saboteur, 2 costs. He has 1 Force icon, 2 edge-enabled unit damage, 1 health. So far, not lighting the world on fire. After this unit enters play, discard a target enhancement with cost 2 or lower. All right, there you just did it.
So big. This is so good,
Yeah,
man.
it's okay.
great.
I mean, how
like,
many-
yes,
Thomas.
of course.
How many games Darkseid goes first, puts a resource down, plays stuff, your turn comes, and it's like, you open with this guy, and
Yeah.
you get rid of the resource, like, you just cost them 6 or 7
Yeah,
resources.
this is it.
If you get rid of the Jabba's palace.
This is great.
That's happened several times to me.
And you know what else
So
we
good.
get? We get a Cloud City Casino, a resource.
Why not?
It's getting great. Then we have a 2-cost event called Sabotage. Reaction after an objective is destroyed during an engagement. Destroy all units participating in that engagement.
This can be really hilarious, by the way.
Yeah.
All units, not all enemy
See ya.
units.
Yeah, just everybody.
All units.
I had a game I was playing the other day where my opponent went in with the Emperor and another guy because he was going to tactics down my board and whatever. And I'd never used this card and I had it in my hand and I didn't block because I knew what I was going to do. Attacks, blows up the objective, and I pay 2 and get rid of the Emperor. It was a very good feeling.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So this is a cool little... I think this is ultimately a defensive tactic for sure. Sabotage makes sense. They come in, especially, I mean, if you look at what the Imperial Navy can do as far as like just swarming in and putting all the objectives out.
Attack with a Devastator.
See ya.
Mhm.
Boom.
Peace.
Yeah, Devastator gone.
It's also a classic example of when you attack, they have the Emperor and they block with the Emperor. If you can win, you can tax him down or whatever. You can pay 1 to push him out with Lando. Well, if he's pushed out, it doesn't happen anymore.
Wouldn't really work with it.
But if you can keep him in the battle or whatever they're blocking with, and just pay 2 to remove, that's a really powerful ability for the light side.
Because most of the time it's like, well, I'll lose an objective, but I'll get to focus 3 people down.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'll lose an objective, and now the Emperor is dead. That's not good. So
what you
thinking
want.
will change on that one. And finally, Target of Opportunity. A great little combo of Sabotage, too, if you're gunning for that. So, awesome. What an objective set.
I
It's a
think
good one.
I think the one thing that keeps this thing in check, it's fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but the one thing it keeps in check is that you can only play it if you start Smugglers and Spies.
Yep.
That is, if that wasn't on there, then this would get.
It'd be everywhere.
And it would be in every deck.
Yeah. But what an objective set.
It's fantastic.
Whew, that's 3 big ones right now.
Mhm. All right, next up then, Asteroid Sanctuary. It's a 5/1, and it reads, reaction after you win an edge battle, draw 1 card.
Crazy.
I love that
Always
card.
good.
I love
So
that
good.
card.
Yeah.
It's beyond good.
The
good for
best is when you get 2 of them out.
Sustained
Oh.
conflict.
When an edge battle, I get 2 cards.
Just feeds yourself. All right.
Oh, when the next match will now.
Exactly, yeah, just
And
keeps
then I'll win
chaining.
the next.
More
It's
and
crazy.
more
And then
and
I'll win the
more.
defense.
So then we have the crown jewel. The Millennium Falcon, 5 costs, 3 bubbles. Let's see, 2 black unit damage, 2 black blasty damage, and 1 white unit damage. 3 hit points, vehicle transport, edge 1. And then it reads action after this unit. Return this unit to your hand to put a character or droid into play from your hand.
Seems good.
Unreal, man. This is an unreal card.
It's fantastic.
The trouble with it is you can't tactics it down because it just bounces to the
Mhm.
hand. You can't kill it because if you would kill it, they're just going to put it in their hand. So
You can't capture it.
Now they have
Or,
to have
you
a
can't bounty it.
Hmm.
they have to have a character or droid in hand to do that, right? So you can find them in situations where maybe they played most of their hand out,
Edge
or
mount.
you've captured stuff from their hand or something. Yeah.
It's
I
possible.
mean, it's not. I mean, if I'm looking at the amount of times that I want a character and I don't have one or draw into one, it happens from time to time.
I would say it happens, but typically, if I was a player sitting on the Falcon, I would be putting it into play in a good situation. And I mean, the things that obviously come to mind, the things that just the people are really excited about and they're really powerful. You attack with this thing, whether they're block or not, you strike. As soon as you strike, you pop them back to hand. You drop in a Han or a Lando or a Chewie
Mhm.
or a Luke or a Yoda or anything that's good. And all of a sudden you get to attack again. And if you put in a 4-cost character, you're basically paying 1 to be able to attack with the Falcon.
Yeah.
Which is
Worth it.
In edge 1, which is significant.
totally worth
Yeah,
it.
pairs nicely with the objective itself as well.
That's a great card.
It is a great card.
It's a great card?
Just use it.
What are you going to say? All right, next up, we've already seen this, but it's another Cloud City Operative, 2 cost, 1 bubble. We've been over this, but again, great.
Now, this is just super obvious synergy right
Yep.
there. Where even if you don't put Han in, but you put this in with the Falcon,
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden the Han that you had already attacked with, or the Han that got tactics out, is suddenly not tactics
Relevant
out.
Yeah.
yet again.
So there's just so many ways to I feel like there's such synergy within this affiliation.
Yeah, it's tip top.
That'll be abused. Just awfully.
Next up, Cloud City Guest Quarters, 2 cost, 2 bubbles, 2 resource enhancement. Great.
Wow. And we get a resource?
Yeah.
Is there anything else going
It's
on?
limited.
Limited, but that's it.
Nice. So this objective set is killing it right now.
2 bomb characters, a resource, a really good objective itself.
What else is there?
Let's see if we
My
get anything
favorite
else
card
good.
in this thing, Bamboozle. I love this card. 2 cost, 1 bubble, Action, move one focus token from a target character to another target character unit.
Another great event.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
It's
That
so
event-
good. This thing wrecks the place.
I can't tell you the number of times I've had to turn like Han or Luke just strike so many times.
What this ultimately is to me is what we're seeing in these objective sets is that Fantasy Flight made a game that doesn't involve tapping, like the first one ever, which isn't true, but you know what I'm saying, right? So it used to be cards are on or off, but now cards can be stacked with focus, and they really seem to be playing with this idea that you can move focus around a lot. Whereas, like, imagine that worded in another way, like, stand a character, to kneel a character, and then kneel this character. It's like, no, just move 3 focus wherever you want. Like, they're exploring this, I think, in the design space a lot more, and it's making the game insane.
Yeah.
Like, crazy.
There's a lot to plan
You can't
for.
plan on
Yeah,
anything.
there's a lot to plan
Yeah,
for.
well, and that's I think what's like what we're seeing here too, just from whether it's them knowingly looking ahead or it just happening, is if I'm a Sith Control fan, I am terrified.
Yeah.
Between the Trust Me objective set you just did and this, where they can move focus around, they can bounce characters, they can play characters that you can't really focus down. It's terrifying, man. They can cancel your events, they can move your focus. It's like, what do you do?
I think that's ultimately really thematic and flavorful, though, because these are the smugglers and spies. They're not playing by the rules. They're doing all kinds of crazy, unexpected stuff. So, yes, let's see more of
I
this.
think it's
kind of
also
thing
worth
for them.
noting that you can use that bamboozle during a challenge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if I am attacking and I win the edge battle, I strike, and I play bamboozle to focus down a guy that you defended with, and then I get a strike again, or...
Yeah. It's so good. Especially, like, I'm just picturing
Bananas.
Han,
Yeah.
targeted strike. It's like, pew, pew, dead. Anything. Vader gone. Palpatine gone. Whatever you want. Focused, dead. Get out of here. Crazy.
It's scary, man.
This game just...
I'm kind of
got
worried
blown
for the
up.
dark side now a little bit.
That's what I've been scrambling.
Yeah.
Like, I've been playing so many games. It's like Sith Control out. It beats everything else. You go up against the smugglers, you better
Bend
figure
over.
it out, man. You better just figure
Yeah.
it out. All right, so what do we end with?
It couldn't get any better. Twist of fate. Like, what? This whole thing is bananas. I'm saying, I'm going to go out on a limb here. This might be the best one yet.
It's a difficult. The fact that it's so difficult to
It is.
know, like,
I
is.
think
It's very good, without question.
it may arguably be the best overall objective set in the game.
I would have said that about every single one that we've done so far.
Yeah, but this one has a
When I
twist
look
of
at
fate.
I mean, that is one that will always be good, and it's not smugglers only.
Mhm.
So good,
So
man.
I mean, it's going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know of anyone who's not going to run this in their
alright,
life
so
side deck.
It's
if an
got
objective
resources,
set
it's got
has
control.
a resource and a twist of fate.
And
Yeah.
was that a neutral resource in there?
Yeah, it's just a 2 cost.
Yeah,
neutral
it totally
resource.
is.
I'm telling you, man, resource, twist of fate, good character, good support character,
Mm-hmm.
and then an event that is fantastic.
Offensive,
And then-
It has all the elements
Yeah.
of a beautiful objective set. Yeah. And then
Yeah,
the
it's
good
objective.
objective. yeah.
Fantastic. I'm going to maintain my out on a limb statement here.
I don't think you're out on a limb too far.
You're crazy.
I think
You
as far
lose.
as like overall balanced objective,
Tip top.
That's like what you would want in your dream objective.
like if
Mhm.
your whole deck was fashioned after that, for every 5 card you have 1 major character, you have 1 twist of fate, you have 1 resource, you have 1 support character, and 1 good event.
It'd be beautiful.
That's
Yep.
kind of it. So
Mhm.
if I could put, a lot of those in my deck, I would, but you can only put 2. Anyways, next up we have the Defense of Cloud City. It's a 5/2 Cloud City objective, no ability, just a 5/2. So standard stuff there. 2 cost, 2 force icons, unique Lobot. He provides 1 resource. He has an edge-enabled tactics. He's a character. He's a cyborg. He's got 2 health, and he also has a pretty nifty ability. While this unit is participating in an engagement, treat all combat icons on all participating units as if they were edge-enabled.
Gotta win
It's
that edge
interesting,
battle.
man. That's interesting.
I love it.
That is interesting.
Whew.
Yep.
Yup.
You got to step up to the plate on that one. I mean, if nothing else, you just use them as a resource until it's time to party.
It's time to party.
It's just a... Yeah. It's
No, it's not like, at the same time, it's not like a bomb character. Like, it's not like a
No.
Falcon. It's not like a Chewie.
But it can really mess with you.
Yeah.
He can really, he has so many options. He can be a resource, or he can tag somebody down, or he can just screw with edge battles. He's got a lot of options there
I mean,
for
if
2.
you put him on the board, it's going to change the way you play.
Yeah, things are weird.
Mm-hmm.
Things get weird.
Yep. He definitely weirdifies the board.
Weirdifies.
Next up,
Not to
we
be
actually
confused
get
with Liquify.
2 Cloud City Wing Guards, 3 cost, 1 Force Icon, 1 Edge-enabled unit damage, 1 Edge-enabled blast damage. Character, Trooper, only 1 health, so 3 for a 1 health guy, but he has an ability. This unit may strike during combat even if it is not participating in the engagement.
That seals it, yeah.
That makes sense.
That's crazy.
Balanced.
So I just won. He's coming in.
And the thing about, like, this feels like the objective set that starts to show up after Sith Control kind of gets run out. Where
Because in a Force Choke world, that is not what you
in
want.
the Force Choke Vader reaction world, you don't want it. But like I said, I don't know that we'll be seeing that once this thing kind of starts to shape up.
I think it'll always exist. I just don't know how often it will exist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think it'll become as rare as Sith actually are.
Yeah.
Which is really rare, but still really potent. So next up, we have a Security Control Center 1 cost enhancement. After a unit enters play, place 1 shield on that unit. It's a reaction, so you don't have to do it if your opponent plays
Cool.
a unit, basically.
It's okay. I mean, yeah. It's good.
It's handy. Why not?
I think it pairs really well with the
Plays
Rebel
well with the Hoth
shield,
stuff, yeah.
Hoth stuff.
Mhm.
So it'll be interesting. And it finishes off with a protection edge card, 2 force bubbles, place a shield on a target unit or objective.
This is a weird. I mean, this is a kind of objective set you can't really see right now. An awesome window for it to just slot into something, but it has some things.
It's just funny how lackluster it is after those first 4.
Yeah. Lobot is a
That's
droid.
the problem. It's like you scan through the first 4 and then you're like, ah, sweet, Lobot. And then you're like, it's good.
It's good.
It's not bad.
It's good.
I think at some point you see a deck that has it in it that wants a lot of shields and just finds a way to abuse shields, whether it's protecting characters
Abuse
or
shields
whatever.
in edge battles to me is going to be a key thing. I think as the game goes on, you're going to have decks that are focused around I'm not going to lose an edge battle. Kind of like in Thrones, you have decks that are always going to win initiative, and it's not the concept of winning initiative isn't that significant, but in reality, it can be if you stack effects. So like.
Yeah.
In the same way, I think if you stack if you win the edge battle, awesome things happen, and then you get a lot of force icons. I could see a deck like that popping up at some point.
So overall,
And it's a
decent enough
droid,
objective.
so we might see droid decks in the future. You know?
I
Or
think
he's a
it's
cyborg.
Cyborg. Just
Dang,
cyborg.
it's
No.
true.
There's no Lobot deck.
Dang.
Or there might be a Lobot deck. There's no cyborg deck in the works. But I think it's overall a good objective. It's not the first 4. I don't think you build a deck around it, but I think it fits nicely.
I'd give it a solid B+.
if that's what you're looking for.
Okay.
So.
That's
All right, up next we have Across the Anawit Sector. It's a standard 5/1. It's Smugglers and Spies. Each Smugglers and Spies unit you control gains a black blast damage while it is attacking alone.
there we go.
Interesting.
That's some synergy.
With the Blockade Runner's
Mhm.
objective set. Now, continue reading.
The first 2 cards in this pack are what is named the Sleuth Scout. It's a 2 cost, 1 force icon, Smugglers and Spies unit with a black unit damage and a white blast damage. It's a vehicle transport, 2 health. While this unit is attacking alone, enemy units with printed cost 3 or higher cannot be declared as defenders.
Unbelievably good.
That's just great.
For 2, I mean,
That's
this just wrecks your day.
great, man. Stealth,
Now,
flying.
could this set get better?
It could,
Yes.
in theory. The next card is an Undercover Operative. It's a 1 cost, 1 force icon unit. It's neutral, the 1 health. It has edge-enabled blast damage. It's a character and spy. You reduce the cost to play this unit to 0 if each enemy objective is exhausted.
Pretty common.
Yeah, pretty common.
Nice.
Going from 1 to 0 is not crazy.
Mhm.
It's
For what
much
you're
better
getting,
for
but it's
0.
not bad. Yeah.
Then the next card is Smugglers Run. It's a 1 cost Smugglers and Spies event. Reaction: after an enemy objective is destroyed, take control of a target enemy enhancement that is not attached to another card.
That is something.
Well,
Hello, Jabba's
give
Palace.
me them resources.
Yoink.
And it is in the rules that if there is a unique card in play,
You can
neither
only one
player
play.
can play that card.
So if you steal Jabba's Palace, they can't play Jabba's Palace.
That's nice.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. This is a great little objective set too.
I love enhancement control.
Mm-hmm.
Like just stealing,
Powerful.
even if you just steal a resource. If that's
Huge
all it
swing.
does. Like, all right,
+2.
let's take that.
And then the final card in this pack is Over My Dead Body. 1 cost, when a unit in play executes an action or reaction, cancel it.
And for my dead body,
Solid.
more of that.
Yep.
2 sleuth
Cancels.
scouts. I see this going one of 2 ways.
That's a great one. That lowers your curve pretty significantly in the deck.
Mhm.
Even just putting 1 in lowers your curve and gives you some options. But if you want to build a deck around this idea of can't block me, and if you can, I'm going to swindle you. Maybe you start off Rebels and put in Rebel Assaults. You put in 2 of the one and 1 of the
Rebel
other.
Peppers.
And then you basically have a way where almost anything they can block with, you can remove.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe throw in like a bunch of the give this unit a blast damage, target of opportunities. Like you could do some serious undercover objective destruction with this deck.
I mean, and you can even have 2 of the objectives set out. So whenever they're
Mhm.
attacking one, you get 2 black blast damage.
All right,
Which-
cool. I think it pairs really well with the Trench Run objective set actually, because you get Trench Run, which Tim has a good story about that. But you also get Rebel Assault, so these little guys on a Trench Run could be devastating. You get one out that gives them an extra. You raise your unopposed bonus with the other objective. They
All of a
can't
sudden you're
block.
doing like 5
You're
to
doing
the
4 or
next
5
guy.
in 1 attack, and it's like you better get something out that can block quick. And even if you do, Rebel Assault at game over.
Swindle it, Rebel Assault it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
See ya.
This seems cool. I'm into this.
I'm terrified of that deck, by the way.
Let's go to Escape from Ord Mantell. Probably the best art that I have seen thus far in this game.
That's a statement.
It's so good.
Going out on a limb here.
It's a 5/1. After you play an event card, remove 1 damage from a target objective. Can't complain.
Seems good for the smugglers.
Can't complain. Then we go on to the Mission Commander. 2 cost, 2 force icons. He's got a black unit damage and a white objective damage. Reaction after this unit is focused to strike as an attacker. Damage it to rescue 1 card captured to the engaged objective, then draw a card. I think that's a really sweet deal and got 2 health. Good little answer to the captured stuff.
It's a utility card.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is, and the fact that you draw a card as well is nice, really nice. So hey, I'm into this card.
It's a thing.
It's
I'm
an
into it.
answer. Like it's not gonna do anything crazy, but it's an answer. We got a Covert Sniper, 2 cost, 1 force icon there. He has a black tactics, which is cool for a sniper. Reaction after you refresh, deal 1 damage to a target unit committed to the force.
I love it.
I think this is a great card. 1 health,
Yeah.
but this is a great card.
It's the kind of card that you just kind of have to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Especially
And
for Sith.
even if it's focused down, it can use its reaction. I
Mhm.
really dig this guy. I would like, if there were 2 in here, I would really like this objective set. But there's
Mhm.
only 1. Only 1. So you go to the short range hauler. It is a 1 cost vehicle transport. It has 1 health, and it has a black unit damage. He does nothing. He does nothing. Going to,
No argument there. It's just like,
The crowd goes quiet.
Going to Bring 'em On, 0 cost, 2 force icons. Event has a reaction. After you win an edge battle, target participating unit gains 2 unit damage until end of the phase. That's important.
2 unit damage.
2 black unit damage till the end of the phase.
That's a big deal.
So then if
Can't
you
be.
shuffle some focus around, come bring somebody back in. Now they're doing 4 unit
Clock
damage.
City
You're going to
Operative.
defend that? I don't know.
Even if you
I
just
mean,
have Han, man.
Then you
Yeah,
win the
you
edge
give it to
battle, they
Han.
do
You-
6.
You attack once or twice with
Targeted
Han and target
strike.
strike, and it's like
Yep.
Goodbye.
This is
Let's go
Han on the
Wookie.
card. Man, he's looking very suave too. So this is a good card too. This is a great card. I like it. Again, working into the win the edge battle theme. And finally, Over My Dead Body. 1 cost event that we just went over. Cancel some stuff. That's a good little objective set.
I like it.
I feel like this is the kind of objective set that you have 8 or 9 together for a deck, and it's like, all right, what's 1 more?
This really lowers the curve too. 22101. Lowers the curve if you need that. It can help you stick around. It kind of is an Imperial Navy kind of thing where you can like, well, I can remove damage from my objectives. You've also got an answer to Scum where you can take.
Tim likes that idea.
Well, I mean, like,
This doesn't seem like a.
I'm just trying
Navy
to
thing.
think of like what the answers can be. Like, so Imperial Navy to me is going to damage your objectives. Like
Okay.
this is useless against Sith. Like
Yeah.
they're really not going to hurt your objectives most of the time.
Mhm.
Imperial Navy is going to be maybe do 3, do 2, do 1.
Also
Remove
pairs really
that.
well with Trust Me,
Yeah.
because you damage it twice to cancel an event, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to play an event, remove damage, play an event, remove damage.
Stick with me here though.
Okay.
Imperial
Stick it.
Navy, Scum for the rescue. So it answers Scum a little bit. And then, I don't know, nothing really answered. Maybe Sith? one health
Yeah,
guy
definitely.
that
What are the tactics?
committed to the Force, he kills you. I don't think we answer Sith here, but it's got two maybe. Oh, over my dead body. Done.
Done.
It's got three
Sith
little
officially answered.
three little tiny answers to all of the dark side themes. Just saying. I'm sticking up for it.
Interesting objective set for sure. I don't think it's great. Obviously, it's not a Han or a
Right.
Millennium Falcon, but it does things.
Not shiny at all.
It does things. That's saying something. All right, next up
It
we
is saying
have
something.
Embers of Hope. It is our 5/1 Jedi objective out of this box.
It's great art.
Ooh.
While this objective is undamaged, your opponent cannot draw cards through card effects. Great.
Okay.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
Seems solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because why not? Why give them cards?
It's good
Why let
against
them have
console
cards?
set. It's good against Jabba's Reach.
Next up, we have 2 Moisture Farmers, a 0-cost, 1 bubbled, white unit damage, 1 hit point, character civilian, with Protect Tatooine. If a Tatooine card you control would be damaged, you may place the damage on this unit instead.
That's funny.
Man, these Moisture Farmers
They're just getting
dying
slaughtered.
in droves. It's crazy.
Good theme there. Nice.
Just stepped out to look for some droids and came back and all the Moisture Farmers were dead. It's crazy. All right, next up we have Makashi Training, a 1-cost, 2 bubbled enhancement. Enhance a Force user unit. Enhanced unit gains targeted strike. Great.
That is massive, by
It is
the way.
huge. This is exactly what Jedi
That
needed.
is massive.
With all the
For-
build the Jedi cards
Yeah, for
that
the-
you run in or decks, it's like if you're gonna have just a couple of awesome dudes on the board, they better be awesome dudes on the board.
For the Christmas tree
Yeah.
Jedi deck,
Mhm.
where it's like Yoda with 1,000 things
Yep.
hanging on him.
This is great for Yoda.
Yeah.
My only issue with it.
Oh, there are issues.
There are issues.
There are issues, but
There are issues.
with this card in particular, not even the objective set, is probably the most prominent in the build a Christmas tree deck is Luke.
Yes.
And he already
And
has it.
target
But
strike.
now he doesn't have to be.
Yes.
But
But who else are you gonna
It could
use?
be Obi-Wan. It could
I
be
mean,
Yoda.
Maybe
Really?
it could be Obi-Wan finally.
Yeah,
he could do
Obi-Wan
something.
gets a chance.
well, yeah.
And then we're gonna get that Qui-Gon card. Just wait.
I don't know. I think having the attachable targeted strike option on stuff is good. Like,
No, I think
it's just good for the game
Attachable
overall.
target strike is fantastic.
Yeah.
At this current moment,
We might need one more really
But-
solid Force user.
You give us a couple more Jedi.
Give us a couple more.
Oh, yeah.
A
This is
different
gonna
version
get
of
good.
Luke that doesn't already have targeted strike but is no less good.
Yeah, or just some of the weird Jedi.
Yeah.
You know, just the random.
Well, it depends on where they go with the game and how far,
Yeah.
which directions they
Yeah.
go. But on any other, like if we get more major characters that are Force users, this thing is gonna
Yeah, it'll start
be,
showing up.
be
It's gonna
much better.
explode.
You've kind of got to. So far, we're not really impressed with the thing yet, though. So
Not- yeah,
you're
those-
gonna have to
those
dig for
moisture
that
farmers.
one.
All right, next up we have Force Precognition.
This could be it.
Love the art.
Yoda's on it.
Yeah, 1
Could be
cost,
good.
2 bubbles. Enhancement, enhance a Force user unit. While enhanced unit is participating in an engagement, your opponent must place the first card of his edge stack face up.
So now I have one that isn't good with Obi-Wan.
Anti-Obi-Wan. Wow. He didn't need
There's
that.
a lot of conflict here.
He didn't need that. Yeah, I'm not impressed with this so far.
All right. But, I mean, that is a useful ability, but again, we've got that covered. Next up.
On Yoda, it's fantastic.
Yes. A lot of these are just for Yoda, I guess. This is your build your Yoda
Build a Yoda.
supplement.
He's the best Christmas tree. Right?
That's right. And then lastly, we have a Secret Guardian, 1 cost, 2 bubbles, event, action. Put a character unit into play from your hand. At the end of the phase, if that unit is still in play, return it to your hand.
I love that.
That's
good.
great.
I
Without
love
question.
that.
I think this,
Wow.
this
That does
finally makes this objective set worth something.
That's a card you would dig through this objective for.
Art's
I
great,
think.
too.
It says character, right?
Yes.
So there's a lot of things it works with here.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do with it.
It's
Mhm.
like, oh, surprise Chewbacca.
So that's a mixed bag.
Yeah, that was a mixed bag.
Yeah.
It's not awful.
No, it's not.
weird.
But it's not good because there's a lot of just
I'd give it a C.
chud
Nothing.
stuff in there.
Yeah, it's.
But-
the Moisture
but-
Farmers, what are they doing right now? Like, what's the biggest Tatooine thing that needs to stay alive? I haven't.
Hero's Journey.
Yeah, that's what I was
Luke's
thinking.
objective is
And it's a
Tatooine.
Tatooine card, right? So if
Yeah.
there's
Yep.
Tatooine characters,
They also
then
protect them.
Mhm.
he could block for a Moisture Farmer.
I can only speculate that this is like a potential that like we're gonna see stuff later on. They're planning in advance, and this will be like, oh man.
The archetype,
Remember
I
that
think I'm
Embers of Hope objective? Let's
wanting.
use that now.
I don't know. I don't have enough time to try it with Gen Con on the horizon, but I think an Obi-Wan style of, because it's not just Obi-Wan. His objective when you play Force users, you draw cards, and using all those lower costed Force users and giving them these abilities makes them
Make them little mini. Mini
so you
leaps.
run 2 Obi-Wans, 2 of the spirits, and then you run all the Force user objective sets with this, and all of a sudden you're giving targeted strike to 2 or 3 people, or you're giving hey, you have to play first edge card every time you attack because I've got these guys out.
Yeah.
So I could see it in that style of a deck. I don't think it's quite there yet.
I will say a saving grace is that all this stuff is super cheap. 2 0 cost and 3 1 cost cards.
Yeah, curve plummets. So, I mean, if you're going to run it with the big fat Force users, then
You can
makes
enhance them
sense.
quite cheaply.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Those moisture.
It's
farms,
interesting,
though.
yeah.
Interesting. So let's get to the Rebel objective of the box. It's a 6/2. Alderaan's Promise. It's an Alderaan objective. Limit 1 per objective deck, which is usually a sign to the goodness of something. Forced Interrupt. When this objective is destroyed, increase the Death Star dial by 1.
Nice.
I'm having mixed feelings about this.
I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's not a great thing. It's just
Well, it's
a
not a
thing.
good thing.
It's
It's
just
a
a
bad
thing.
thing.
Not for Imperial.
When it gets destroyed, it cooks up an extra?
Yeah.
That's a bad thing. If you're a
Well.
light side player.
Just don't let him destroy it. Done.
Let's see what's in it. 3 cost unique Bail Organa, 3 Force icons, a black tactics icon. He provides 1 resource. He's a character, he's a leader. He's got 3 health, which is good. While an Alderaan objective is in play, this unit gains a black tactics icon.
Nice.
Forced reaction. After the Alderaan's Promise objective is destroyed, sacrifice this unit.
Ouch. I guess he was there.
Wow. So, essentially what we're looking at is
Yeah, he was.
this thing needs to not be destroyed. Alderaan needs to not be destroyed.
Really,
That's what we're looking at
you're
here.
looking at, if you draw it in your first 4, you don't pick it. And then it's the only one in the deck. It goes to the bottom of the objective stack, and it's gone.
Yeah.
Really, this should only ever come out after Imperial has destroyed an objective, and a 6 health objective now comes out. Which probably at this point in the game, if they're attacking your objectives, your other objectives have some damage on it, and this is not very attractive.
Just watch out for that super laser blast.
Oh, it'll get you. Yeah, that's what a super laser blast here is just.
But the thing is, you're not going to see super laser anymore. There's too much cancel right now. Like, no one's going to play super laser.
I don't know. If you're Imperials and you can destroy objectives, you just wipe out Trust Me's, and then it's like, oh. Imperials have so many resources. They can spend 4 on trying.
I don't know, man.
We'll see. I still like Super Laser. Anyways,
I do too.
we also get a 5 cost unique Tantive 4. 1 Force icon, 1 black blast damage, 2 edge enables blast damage, vehicle capital ship 3 health, and he has a reaction. After this unit enters play, search the top 5 cards of your deck for a unique unit. Reveal it and add it to your hand. Shuffle the remaining cards back into your deck.
I think that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
5 for a capital ship with 3 objective damage that lets you look at the top 5 and grab a unique character.
Hello, Yoda.
Yeah.
I'm going to vote on that.
Yeah, it's great. It's one of those things where I feel like you're going to be in a situation where you're going to have 5 resources to spend. And it's like, am I going for this guy, or am I going to spend it on, my Luke or my other stuff that's like actually going to probably affect the board a little bit more? I think he's good, but I almost am thinking that it's kind of a win-more situation with this guy.
I don't know. I mean, 3
I
health
would
on a
disagree.
capital ship that can do. I mean, he's got 3 blast damage. It's
Yeah.
terrific. So
That's a lot.
he's the first one since Red 5. Obviously, Red 5 is all black, but he's a powerhouse of a damager if he comes out at the right time. Early on, I mean, if you drop this one guy, they're not going to force choke it, obviously. Like, they may have a force lightning if they're running Sith. And it's like, all right, I'll attack. And then I'm going to... I don't know. It's not bad. I don't know that I'll run it, but I could see it being good.
Yeah, it's Rebels. Yeah, this is the Rebel set, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting that he's in there. I don't know. I played Rebels a few times. I'm like, I don't play them primarily. Tim, you play Rebels, don't you? Most
I
of the
do.
time?
I like it.
I tend to
I like
like
that card. I don't know about the set.
put a
but I
bunch
like
of
that
stuff
card.
out.
All right, so we also get a 0 cost character civilian, 3 force icons on a 0 cost unit.
Nice.
2 health. Forced reaction. After the Alderaan's Promise objective is destroyed, sacrifice this unit. This is an edge card if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, right.
No battle icons, just straight up. I'm going to put this in an edge battle.
Yeah, it's an edge battle.
We also get a 1 cost enhancement. It's a rebel. Diplomatic presence, 1 force icon. Has the trait, I guess, diplomacy. Enhance an objective you control. Enhanced objective cannot be engaged unless each other objective you control has been engaged this phase.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool.
I like that a lot.
That could be, I'm just trying to think of the objectives like Trust Me that you don't want attacked.
Yeah.
Put it on there and it's like, you can attack it, but you're attacking it last.
Or the ones that you have some effect if they're on damage, so it's like, oh, you have to really work through it to get to this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And we finish up with 0 cost event, misdirection, 1 force icon, action. Move 1 damage from an objective you control to another objective you control.
Can be good.
Can be good.
I wish it went to an opponent's objective.
Yep.
Don't we all?
Really?
do as well.
I don't.
I don't know. It's interesting. That one's not. I mean, what do you cut from a rebel deck now to make room for that?
I mean, Bale is he's a 3 cost guy, right? It's 3 force icons. This is for rebels. This is
That's
really
a huge
heavy
edge card, actually.
Because you got Bale and you got the Alderaan armors.
That's true. That's true.
So, and it's a 5/2, or a 6/2, which isn't bad for light side. But I think most importantly, assuming an Alderaan objective is in play, he's got 2 black tactics, which is also not
That is
a
a big
common
deal.
thing for anybody.
And you're saying that's if the Alderaan objective's in play?
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, but you
He has
don't
one
play
that's
it.
not.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay.
And what's the wording on Bale for when he goes out of play? Is if it
After the Alderan's promise objective is destroyed, sacrifice him.
so if he comes out afterwards, can he remain in play?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only
Just making
if
sure.
that objective gets
Yeah.
destroyed.
Mhm.
While he's in
He
play.
has to be on the planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was on Coruscant.
So
Okay.
this is one of those objectives that I don't know.
I think you have to rethink the rebel deck that you're currently running to make use of that objective set. Or you're like, man, I've been losing edge battles a lot, which happens to rebels.
Quite a bit.
And it's like, well, I need to win them, but are those like 4/3 force bubble cards really going to do it? And what are you sacrificing? No. I don't know. Just saying.
I'm gonna give that one a. I don't know.
See.
All right, we have our first neutral objective set of the box.
Finally.
It's 2 arms. It's exclamation point to arms.
Okay, I was thinking.
Oh, it was like
2 arms.
2 arms. Yeah.
3, 4?
It's a 5/1. So you have an 4 objective. Reduce the cost of the first weapon enhancement you play each turn by 2.
By 2.
Not bad.
Wow, cool.
Could be good.
Cool.
I hope there's some weapons in here.
Maybe some blaster
I'm all out
pistols.
of lightsabers.
All right. Up first, we have, up second and third, we have the Holliston weapon tech. It's a 2 cost character with 1 black unit damage. It's 2 health. After you play a weapon enhancement, draw a card. It's a reaction.
And
Seeing
there's 2 of them?
some synergy here. Also, creepiest race in Star Wars, probably.
It's pretty creepy.
Boris.
The Holliston guys,
Holistons.
they got like the weird face masky
Yeah.
things.
Oh yeah, they are creepy.
Yeah.
Then, up next, we have
Stay away from my child.
Han's Heavy Blaster Pistol. It's a unique enhancement. It's 1 cost, 2 force icons. It's a weapon.
Hey.
Enhance a character unit. Enhanced unit gains black blast damage and black unit damage. If enhanced unit is Han Solo, he also gains edge 1.
And target is drained.
I mean, one for
That's
those 2
nuts.
icons is pretty solid.
Yeah, that's
especially
good.
on like a Han or yeah.
And you can play it for free. You have the objective out.
That's
For
good.
free. All
That's
right.
good.
Up next, we have Chewbacca's Bowcaster.
Cool.
It's also unique. It's 2 costs with 3 force icons. It's weapon. Enhance a character unit. Enhanced unit gains a black unit damage and a black blast damage. If enhanced unit is Chewbacca, he may also strike during combat, even if he is not participating in the engagement.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
It's a good card.
That's a big deal.
It's so good.
It's really good.
And
Also
then,
great in the edge battle.
Yeah. 3 bubbles.
And then the last card in the
There's a lot of force in
objective set is Hidden Cache. It's a 1 cost, 2 force icons. It's an event. Search your deck for 1 weapon enhancement, reveal it, and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck.
Great.
That's
A lot of
not-
synergy.
That's not great. Like there's synergy. It's not great, but it also is a good edge.
Mhm.
Like we're talking about the edge objective sets. That's a really good one. It's got
one, 1, 2, 3,
two 2s and a 3.
I just want to assemble like the Millennium Falcon crew and have a deck with Han and Chewie, and then just start throwing stuff on them.
I mean, if you put Han, Chewie, Lando, Falcon,
yeah,
that objective, it's like,
sure,
it's a good deck.
We get it, yeah. It's the thing.
Tim, I know Tim, you're a decent sized fan of that objective set.
I like it.
I first saw that set, and I'm sitting there thinking, no. I come back to the conditionality of cards, and it's like, okay, a couple resources for those 2 icons, not awful. But at the same time, it's like, the guy that draws when you play weapon, if you don't have a weapon, isn't really doing anything for you. If you draw the weapon and don't really have any characters you want to put it on, or Han or Chewbacca particularly, also doesn't really matter that much.
The thing about the weapon attachments in this is that even if you draw them and you have no character to put them on, they're awesome in the edge battle.
Yeah. I mean,
that is the saving grace of these weapons.
Without question.
But
and even if not, like, you just enhance the Holliston weapon tech with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think
He becomes a beast.
the issue
and you get a draw card.
he becomes a beast. The issue I'm running into with it is like, we're getting to a point where there are quite a few objective sets,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I could draw a card that costs 1 or 2 that has those icons, or I could have an objective set that has a character that has those icons for 1 or 2, and play the character instead, or play the swindled, or like, there's just so many good objectives and so many good cards. Are those 5 cards worth being in your deck?
Right.
And that now I'm investing more into a single character, and it's like, all
and with
right.
more captured around.
Yeah, it's like, well, what if
harder.
I can't stop them from? I don't know. Like, I just saw it, and it's like every card in the entire objective set is conditional, except for the one that you get to search your deck for a thing. How much does that cost? The last
1.
card. So you pay 1 to search your deck.
Should have been free.
That's the only card in the pack that's not conditional, which is my like.
I mean, the Holliston weapon decks, you can play them.
I'm not hip to the weapons either. Like, I don't have like a spreadsheet in front of me with all the weapons, but I'm imagining there is and will
heavy
be.
blast replacement's a weapon. You can pay 1 to go get a heavy blast replacement.
That is the best reason I've heard to use this card.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
It's a
That's
good
the
reason.
There you
That's
go.
a pretty
Yeah,
good reason.
The heavy
I mean,
blaster replacement is awesome.
I feel like people are getting, as
Boom.
Steven would say, are getting hip to the idea of enhancement control.
Convinced.
Yeah.
Because, at worst, I'm getting rid of resources, and at best, I'm getting rid of trust your feelings off of Luke or Han. So, like, I just see
Enhancements
this
are
thing where
less good now. I will say that.
you're going to count on an enhancement, and they're going to either get rid of the character, or they're going to, I don't know. It's an interesting objective set. I don't think it's bad, but I think ultimately, for my style, I'm not going to play this pack.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Let's move on to opening moves. This is
It's also the closing.
The closer is opening moves. It's 5-1 standard. First engagement your opponent declares during his conflict phase must be declared against a Yavin 4 objective at Fable. So, it is a Yavin 4 objective. They've got to declare their engagement against this one first, or the other Yavin 4 ones, which are solid. So, okay, I'm in. I'm still in. Then we got the Masasi. Masasi Temple Lookout. 1 cost, 1 force icon, 1 black unit damage, 1 health. Character and a trooper during the first engagement declared each phase. This unit gains shielding.
It's okay.
It's for 2.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 2 of them in there. He's, you got some shieldy stuff with the Hoth. And
I'm 1 bad card from being out.
well, luckily it is not this one. 2 cost, 3 force icons, weapon. We just found it. Proximity Mine. Enhance your play area. Action. Sacrifice this enhancement to deal 2 damage to each attacking enemy unit.
That's crazy.
Seems juicy.
That can be good.
That can be real good.
This, to me, is like the thing you play out and then they dig for enhancement, destruction, or control.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of, like, at a certain point, you have to, even if you're popping this against a single, like, this plus blocking minorly is going to kill most of your major characters.
Yep.
So you got to think about it. And heaven forbid you get like 2 or 3, at least 2. Maybe there's more coming, but
I think it's an interesting card because
And you can go search for it.
And
if you're running that sweet objective set, and you can
Let's
draw a
run
card
all
once you
neutrals.
play it.
So I mean, I think the issue I'm running into here, I do think it affects the game and changes how the dark side plays, but at the same time, how often does the dark side attack, and in a non-Sith world, that's probably quite a bit actually. But also when they do, okay, so now they know not to attack in big groups. If it was like a, hey, surprise.
I mean, the thing that you're doing here is you're manipulating the way your opponent has to play, which is always a good thing.
They do. They call this the. I learned about this in Infinity actually. About, I don't know. It's some kind of tiger. You guys will probably know it. It's like a tactic, and it's essentially whenever you have a threat that your opponent knows about that you haven't used yet. So like in Infinity, it's when you have advanced deploy guys that are impetuous, and so they know that you're using an order to cancel that jump in, and they're like, oh my gosh. So now they have to rearrange their backfield every turn because they know that that's coming at some point. So proximity mine. Same concept.
They know it's coming.
They know you're gonna pop it at some point, right? So they gotta play weird, and they gotta attack not optimally and do things. Will it actually have a big impact on the game right now? Probably not. Probably not. Moving on to the Ion Cannon Barrage. I do love this card. 0 cost, remove all shields from play.
Cool.
Which makes me wonder why those two Massassi troopers are in with this card. Remove all shields, gain shielding. A little bit confusing. And then protection, place a shield on something. So
This objective doesn't know where it's going.
I need an answer to the dark side shielding everything, but it also screws my entire board up as well. So I don't know. This one isn't. Boy, after the first 4, it went really, really sour.
Went in a really weird direction here.
If we had started here and gone upwards, we would be freaking out by the end of this review.
These just keep getting
Instead,
better.
The okay ones just looked even more okay.
Yeah, they looked significantly okay. Average.
Okay, so my question is, how does this compare to the dark side of the same box? I feel like this is weaker. Like light side got less goodness on the whole.
I don't know that I agree with that.
I don't know.
Lando and the Falcon.
Are very good.
They got
question.
light side feel like they got more bombs. I feel like dark side got more consistent.
I feel like dark side got additional options of things that can be viably dark side decks. I feel like the light side got, hey, decks that used to be dominant, no, not anymore. Like you can't. Like I really question the viability of Sith control here. I really 100% do. Between everything that we've seen, it's just. It's tough, and Sith control was around the board. So I feel like, to me, I think, like I said earlier, I think the Millennium Falcon objective set's probably the best objective set that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
But I feel like, trust me, the objective has the most impact on the current state of the game. Like, it's the one card in the box that almost shuts, like, it takes the Sith control that may have won 89% of their games down to, like, 50%.
Yeah.
Which throws it completely off of the top of the
And
list.
then what you changed to, an Imperial Navy, which actually is looking kind of strong right now to me.
I'm just thinking about like the objective we got for Sith and the Imperials out of this box were great, just fantastic, especially that Sith one. So I don't know. I feel like the Jedi one, it's kind of a wait and see. The Rebel one, yeah. So
the Smugglers are here to play.
So it's
that.
like, yeah, without question, the Smugglers are here. But
Smugglers are nuts.
I feel like the dark side guys, everybody got like a gem, just a real gem.
Got a little boost.
Like I said, I feel like the dark side just got a little more option.
It was more well-rounded.
Yeah,
it was like
sure.
solid across the board, whereas light side just got a couple that just blow the game up.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. They just have altered the deal, so to speak. They have altered the deal. And
Star Wars reference.
Are they gonna alter it further?
They may alter it further in the next box, but
I'm very happy with
I really
this.
do. Like,
it's very fair.
I think from where the game sits right now, and you won't be able to appreciate it nearly as much in a year or two, but where the game has been being played up until this point, totally new direction.
I mean, so where does this leave people going to Gen Con, including ourselves?
Clueless. I've played so many games even since this is released, and I still do not know.
And it usually takes a while for people to get hip to new stuff too. So maybe it's like I'm just going to go with my secure deck, and so maybe the game won't have changed that much by the time we get to Gen Con.
The big question for me is how much people are leaning on this new stuff.
Yeah.
If the light side players pick up the Smugglers and start using it really heavily, I think Sith Control has a bad day. But if you see a lot of the super character decks like we were seeing before this,
Yeah.
then Sith Control is still as good as
Top
as
dog.
it was.
It ever was, yeah.
But it's a mess. That's what I'm gonna say.
Now, particularly, I would ask, I guess you, Zach, do you feel like the stuff that Scum and Villainy got in terms of capturing and the ease of that is as good, less than, greater than the stuff that Smugglers and Spies got in terms of canceling and focus token manipulation?
I think because the Scum and Villainy got those cards, they got captured, is actually what makes Trust Me so impacting. Because before it was like, okay, this answers Sith Control. That's fine. But now you think, oh, they might have captured, they might have Force Lightning. Even Imperial, I was playing Imperial guy the other day, and he played.
Might have Super Laser, man.
He was gonna play Super Laser. Like, you can't play Super Laser anymore. You
Yeah.
can't play the thing that reduces your capital ships as an event. If I canceled it, he couldn't play his capital ship down, and it just has such a dramatic effect on the best things in the game right now that it kind of puts into question what the best things are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to me, I almost feel obligated to run 2 Trust Me's, which means you have to start Smugglers and Spies, which puts you in a weird spot. And if you do that, I think you do that to shut down a lot of the dark side stuff. But if they're answering you, it's just a mess.
Chicken or the egg.
Yeah, I had 2 decks I was really happy with for about a week, and then I started seeing the power of these cards, and we're a week out, and I have no idea what I'm running,
Yeah.
which is not normal for me.
I don't know why I haven't looked at it super closely, but I do feel like Navy is coming out way better in this meta than it was in the past. It's like you can cancel everything, you can do all that. I got no tricks. I'm just playing out a bunch of TIE fighters, and I'm killing your objectives.
And that's
Going
what
back to the challenges,
I
man.
lost a couple times to a Sleuth Scout style of deck, and just racking my brain on what the answer is. And it's like I started noticing they attack with all their stuff a lot, and they leave themselves open. It's like, oh, if I dropped a Star Destroyer or 2 right here, I can go faster than them.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's
What an interesting world.
It's going to be a wild game. I'm really excited to see what decks win
Yeah.
the national championship for this game.
It'll be
Nice.
exciting.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us for the second half of our Edge of Darkness review. If you missed the first part, here's a link to that, and you can check that out and see if, in fact, we were right in our assessment of those Scum and Villainy cards, because it's been a day, and you don't quite remember everything that was in there. If you want to grab Edge of Darkness, you can do that from us. It's teamcovenant.com/store. There's a link there. And we would love to have a chance to let you know how awesome we think you are and want to sell you things. So thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time.